Welcome back to some more Netrunner from the San Francisco Bay Area. This is from the Games of Berkeley 2016 Stored Championship from February 20th. That was last night. And we have two players. This is from the cut. This is like round 3 or 4 from the cut. I have David Gomez on the left and Todd Wilde on the right. Todd did take a mulligan. David kept his hand. And I have with me commentating Mr. Andrew Cortez. How are you today, Mr. Andrew Cortez?
Oh, I'm just reliving the excitement of last night. Last night was a great Store Championship, and I'm excited to talk about it with you today.
And this was, of course, Kalagoda was the latest pack. And something interesting to point out here, David Gomez on the left side of the screen playing Sync versus Leela. He had only been playing this game, I think originally he said 2 weeks, and then he corrected himself and said, no, actually it's been 18 days. So we were all a bit impressed by that.
Yeah, that was astounding to me because he picked up on a lot of things that even I, after playing 2.5 years, would be like, no, I don't think that's an option. But you're totally right.
Yeah, I think some players, like I see a player like this very rarely, but it happens every once in a while. Someone just picks up on the game, and he just has a very strong intuition about the game, I'd say. I was just observing his play. Like, he might have just practiced his 2 decks a lot and understood all those interactions, but he's kind of, like, he didn't know the full card pool yet. You know, only been playing the game a couple weeks. But he just had this sort of intuition about the game and how the system worked. And I think that's a testament to the game as much as it is to the player.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and Todd Wilde here on the right, he is more of a veteran. I don't know how long he's been playing, but seen him around quite a bit. And he generally does pretty well at these things. So, yeah, this was the loser's bracket final, right?
Yeah, I think so. That's correct.
Yeah, loser's bracket final. The winner of this gets to play Mr. Noah McKee. Very popular player in the area, very strong player in the area.
He's kind of good, I guess. I don't know.
Okay, and so let's talk about the actual game now. So we got Leela here, account siphoned. Is that's a data raven, right?
Yeah.
I need to maximize this video. There we go. Now I can see. Yes. And so looking at the game plan here, Leela has gang sign out, same old thing, and a fall guy. What does that tell you about this deck?
3 letters, baby. D L R A O. It's coming.
And gang sign is such an interesting inclusion for DLR. Like it's something that you only probably going to see in Criminal because the DLR influence is pretty tough in Anarch, but it does so much work because it really delays their early and mid game where they want to just score out against DLR. Usually that's the plan, and now you have this other threat here to limit their ability to do that.
Yeah, also it's pretty good because against DLR you're going to want to at least hold on to some of your agendas, and obviously you're going to hold them in your hand. So if you get one through DLR, and then you can possibly steal the other ones straight out of their hand that they're trying to protect. So it's great.
This is DDoS down. I'm pretty sure we're going to see it used immediately. So he's going in on that remote. Hoping to get an Astro, I'm sure. And that's not an Astro.
Ayo.
So, News Team, he does pick it up. He's not quite ready to go tag me yet, with only the 1 fall guy down.
Yeah. You know he's packing at least 3 times Data Dealer with all this News Team coming around, so natural choice to just take it.
Yeah, he's like, oh, that's just 9 money right there.
Yeah. Oh, thanks. Thanks, NBN.
And he does click for R&D there to make use of that DDoS one last time at least.
Yeah.
DDoS, is that a 3 influence card?
Yep.
Yeah, so that's quite expensive. I've seen a lot of criminals using it recently because of how enabling it is for account siphon.
Right, yeah.
And playing against Sync, the siphons are going to be tough. He's going to want to clear the tags up until he's ready for the DLR plan, and he's not quite there yet. He does have some same old things down to recur that siphon, though.
Plus it's Sync, so you're going to be spending an extra credit to clear that tag.
Right, yeah. I guess I was being a little too subtle. That was the implication, but I'm making all sorts of assumptions in my head and not actually saying what is going on. Oh, we should just point out, he did just draw the snare. You see that?
A hot snare. That's so good. Ooh, that Corset tech.
Snare and Sync, yeah. And he has I see he has a Quantum in his hand. He has a Melange in his hand, so he drops the snare down on the table.
Yeah, I like that.
I think that's a decent call. I mean, I'd be tempted to keep it in hand, especially with that gang sign. But I think he's figuring, he's seen Todd run his remote, so he's thinking Todd is worried about the Astro threat, and maybe we'll go check that. That is, I'm guessing, what he's doing there.
I think the only thing I think personally I would have laid down 2 cards like Snare News Team or Snare Agenda, but yeah.
I see.
That's a good move. Yeah.
Yeah, when I think of Snare and Gang Sign, it's so tempting to try and make that into a combo somehow.
Right, yeah. Oh, here you go.
Yeah, like late game, he could, install advanced, something like a Beal even behind a piece of ice, and if Todd is focused on Gang Sign DLR, he might let it go, and then you can just advance, snare, Scorcher, something like that will do it.
Right, totally.
Okay, so he installs over the snare. I guess at this point it looks kind of like a SanSan?
It could look like a SanSan, but also he could easily throw the melange over the snare and then recur the snare with Jackson if he wants to do that.
Yes, he might be building towards that. I don't know what that new card was. That a news team?
No, I think it's Pad Campaign.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this sync deck is interesting so far. It's kind of all over the place. I'm not really.
Yeah, definitely. It seems like it has a lot of 1 or 2 ofs with the Pad Campaigns and Smelange and things like that.
And I'm not sure he might have a couple Scorch Earth. He has 1 at least, I think, in hand, but it's not like full on kill.
Does he?
I don't know.
Think so.
Well, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I was observing some of his games last night, so I might be thinking of another game.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. Maybe he doesn't even have it.
You're probably wrong, Brian. Let's be real.
It'd be weird to pack a snare and not back it up with a Scorch Earth, but
yeah.
All right, so yeah.
There we go. Yep.
Replacing the snare with the melange. At a certain point, you do have to give up on the trap when they don't seem to be taking the bait. And we should mention Todd. Look at his side of the table. Has a couple drug dealers down powering the Faust.
Yeah, that's really good. I like that a lot.
Just saying, we don't need credits.
Who needs it? Who cares?
What he does need is a lot of card draw right now. He has to build up a few more pieces here. He wants to wireless net. He needs like a paparazzi or a Plascrete.
It's funny. It's interesting. He actually trashed paparazzi a couple of turns ago. He might have 2, or he's just not worried about kill.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he probably has at least a couple. Or he might have had like a Plascrete in hand. If you have enough of those cards if you're going to tag me, so...
Exactly.
So he does run Archives to get rid of the Jackson and picks up another news team. So he has to score 8 points now to win this game. 9 points.
Oh, he's probably scared to use paparazzi because then he's tagged, and then we could flip sync, and then he could start trashing resources early for just a credit.
Yeah, he doesn't want to put it down yet.
Yep.
And man, hitting all these data ravens, I'm sure he's very tempted to go tag me, but he is. Okay, that's Archangel.
Cool.
So that'll cost Faust 3 cards to break.
Right. Trashing the Levy, Fisk, and another Fisk. Okay.
Oh, that's rough, dropping the Fisks.
Yeah.
He
has another one in hand, which is hilarious. But
well, he picks up the 3rd news team. Okay. At this point, he was joking. He was saying, "Well, at least I don't have to worry about those anymore."
Right. Now he needs that hot data dealer.
The Fisk investment is so important to him, though.
Yeah.
He needs that to get his combo pieces, and so he draws drug dealer there at the end of his turn. That looks confusing, but that's what's going on. Yeah, he needs that to get the combo pieces, get the board into the position he needs, and also, Sync is a 40-card ID, so he's running 44 cards in that deck, most likely, and Fisk does a lot of work to enable DLR to actually mill out the corp.
Yeah, absolutely, and especially if he wants to apply some indirect pressure in, a scoring attempt, playing Fisk when an agenda is installed makes a really bad choice for the corp, which is really, really good because they either lose all their cards or they play their cards and don't score the agenda. So,
and also does a lot of work with that gang sign.
Yeah, totally.
Bank job.
Ooh, bank job. I like it.
Look at all of his resources are basically 1 or 0 to install. And wireless net down. And now unique wireless net.
Yep.
Not printed on the card, but that is the way it is. Yeah, he's already at a pretty frustrating point to trash. Sync can flip over and save 2 credits per trash. So I don't know, if you're David, do you think he's in a weird position. I think he has a couple agendas in hand. It looks like he has an NAPD. You know, you're playing against Leela, so that's a factor with the bouncing. Scoring might be tough here.
Yeah, scoring's going to seem to be pretty tough.
But he needs to score, because if he just sits back and waits for like a kill to happen or whatever, Leela can also just sit back and build up and build towards that late game mill.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think he's thinking about the mill right now, and he needs to start moving on points. Plus, he can get a little risky with it, because, I mean, Leela already has -3, so, you know, if he tries to sneak something out, like, it's not a big deal right away.
I know he has a quantum in hand, too, so I think ideally he'd wants Leela to start going tag me, so he could score out the NAPD or whatever, and then let Todd's gang sign score him out the quantum.
Right.
Turn that 2-point NAPD into a 3-point.
Ayo.
Easy mark. Easy mark, such a good include for this deck. Like, this deck is going to be at 0 credits quite often from the drug dealers and all these like resources he has to install. You see his economy so far is bank job, right? Bank job, easy mark.
Bank job, easy mark. Yeah,
I think that's all we've seen.
Yeah. Oh, no, you know what? I bet he has easy mark in the sure gamble slot.
It could be. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
I haven't noticed if he's played a sure gamble yet. It's one of those cards that you don't really notice as a commentator because it's so ubiquitous.
Yeah. You're like, ooh, cool.
Ooh, I'm real impressed.
Whoa! Okay. So we got Jackson. True 2. Okay, cool.
And so far, I don't know if Todd has seen much influence yet. Has he seen any influence?
Well, he has Faust.
No, has Todd seen much influence?
Seen. Oh, sorry, on the other side of the board. No, I don't think so.
I think Todd's game plan is pretty clear at this point, just from the cards on the table and, you know, what he's doing. But, David, I don't know if he's really shown much.
Yeah.
We know he has the snare.
Right.
And he must be on Scorch. I'm just not seeing other cards here.
Yeah, it must be.
He might be doing one snare.
Oh, wait, he's playing GFI. That's some influence.
Oh, you see GFI there?
I think I saw a GFI in his hand.
Yeah, that could be.
Yeah.
All right, so there's a pop-up on top of that piece of ice. It's a closed counts in hand.
Yeah. I think the GFI is actually in the bin right now because he tossed it out after.
I think he was deciding if he wanted to ice over the pad campaign there, because he was
bank job. Yeah,
he was worried about bank job. But I think Todd had
is.
already played 2 bank jobs at that point, so I think that was his third.
Yeah, yep, that was his third. Now we got Plascrete down.
Yeah, so if I'm David, I think I do the same thing. I think yeah, he's probably not going to have the 3rd bank job right now, so let's not worry about it. It's looking like it's getting close to that probably siphon DLR.
We're getting really close to that.
The thing about it is David keeps just econing up. This is a big threat to Todd's game plan, because as long as David has money, he can just trash all of his resources. You know, flip sync and just start trashing. Like, if you have... He's right now sitting at 23 credits.
Yeah, and that was actually... that was a huge thing that Dan pointed out at Worlds when there was the whole Valencia DLR thing. That's why he played ETF. He just said, I'm going to get a bunch of econ and then trash your stuff as much as I can. And it totally worked, obviously.
It's a totally valid... I did that at the team tournament one game. I had a guy... The guy that I played against tagged me a little bit early. He probably wanted to wait a little bit more to set up, but I flipped sync and just started trashing stuff. And, you know, it seems weird to, like, spend, you know, 8, 12 credits to trash stuff, but if you have the money, you know?
I would play an operation that said spend 10 credits, don't lose the game. Believe it or not.
Yeah, that's. And there's nothing sacred about credits too. You know, credits are there to be spent. If you're spending them to defend your agendas, or you're spending them to wreck your opponent's board state to prevent you from losing, that is both valid. He does have a Scorched Earth in hand now, by the way.
Yeah, I just saw that. Yeah.
And drawing the Astro.
I'd go for it here, man. Yeah, put some pressure on.
Looks like did he have a second Astro in hand? Did he just throw the Astro down?
I think he threw the Astro down. I think he has QPM in hand.
So yeah, he's drawing up. If he can offload, he just drew two agendas,
nope.
I think.
Okay, so he's got sorry, those are the QPMs. Yeah.
Oh my god, this might be a rough score. The 3 gang signs. I mean, Todd's just gonna take all those agendas out of his hand.
Yeah, he might have to hold on that. Ooh.
Yeah, so he drew from Jackson there after throwing what I presume is the Astro down in that server closest to the camera. And then he drew with Jackson, and inside job on that.
Pretend DDoS, I love it.
Okay, so David here makes the mistake,
right.
And the thing is, Todd also makes the mistake of paying for the toll booth or losing the credits on the toll booth. So he should jump over this right now. I believe they're going to correct this mistake in a very simple way. So he is breaking with Faust.
Right.
Yeah, so here's David realizes, and yeah, just a pop-up. So it doesn't really change anything.
Yeah, that's fine.
And David, of course, would have chosen to res that. This is where I think you like being a little bit new to the game. He did pick up on that inside job interaction, but scores QPM.
All right, it is -2-0, folks.
And I think he misses the Leela. This was something with Todd, and people were telling him all throughout this cut. He said, "You're forgetting your Leela trigger," and Todd would just go, "I know." He wouldn't realize it during the game, but like he knows that he misses the Leela trigger.
Oh, we got a Midseasons.
Okay.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Yeah, this is where you're making that tag me choice for the runner. So that was an interesting the QPM. He basically knew Todd could get into that server even without the inside job he was in. So it looks like he was just setting up for the midseason.
Yep. And again, that's no lose for the Corp because Todd has -2 points, and he was able to fire off Midseasons. So, win-win, baby.
Yeah, he had the right credit differential there. So he bumped up to 11, and Todd takes 11 tags, as tracked above the ID. And Scorcher.
And a Scorch, yeah.
So this seems like a weird play at first, because why wouldn't you save the Scorch until you maybe have a kill? But I suspect he might not have like a high Scorch Earth density. Is that even thing? He might have 2 Scorch Earth, and he sees the Plascrete, and he knows he's just not going to kill.
Yeah, he knows he's not going to kill. He might be able to. He'll recur that Scorch Earth with Jackson most likely. Plus, Todd had just tossed cards to Faust, and he wouldn't have tossed his good cards from his hand. So if he had a chance of hitting some good cards, he may as well do it now. Yeah,
and that's I think that's the key of that. The important thing here is, and he hit Mongoose, and he hit DLR.
Oh, okay.
So that was what he really wanted to hit, and Todd took 2 of the damage on Plascrete. So Todd was just willing to. He wanted to save the Plascrete in case there was another Scorched Earth, or in case he recurs Scorched Earth. But he did take 2 to the hand, and was hoping, I am assuming, that the DLR wasn't going to get hit.
Yeah.
And now we see, after the Scorched Earth here, Todd is definitely set up to start DLRing. The Corp's down to 3 credits. He does have the Melange, so Todd needs to deal with that.
Yeah, that'll be next. And he doesn't care about the dead or even counters, obviously, because he's already given him 1 from the siphons. So
yeah, he's at like 14 right now. That's above the maximum tags you effectively need in Netrunner.
Right. The Beal magic number.
Yeah. I mean, Resistor is a small thing, but I mean, what's the difference between 12 and 14 on Resistor? Basically nothing.
All right.
Okay, pop up on Melange. Perfect.
Yep. It's getting through.
Oh, and so Todd did Siphon, same old Siphon there, huh?
Yeah.
So
and
David,
he's probably going to want to save one same old for that levy that got trashed pretty early.
Yeah, those same olds are not getting trashed.
Yeah.
Yeah, for David to start trashing stuff, he needs to flip sync, he needs to trash the Fall Guys, he needs to trash the wireless net. That right there is a lot of money.
Yeah. That's 6 credits to do all that. And then,
6
then
credits,
actually start
a
trashing
full turn.
things. It's more than turn because it's a click to flip and then trash.
Yep.
And then trash for the next turn. Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't have time for that.
Nope. Ain't nobody got time for that.
And this was where the mid-season like triggered all of this, right?
Right. Yeah. It was one
the
agenda point that started this whole mess.
There was this facade of tags, like tags matter. It was a thin illusion, this veil that was over the game, and then that mid-season dropped, and it's like, okay, yeah, tags actually don't matter. I can just run now.
Right. Yeah.
It's amazing how big of a problem Archangel is for Criminal. Like, what do you do?
You just kind of look at it, and then you go, oh, I'll draw inside job eventually. Don't worry about it.
Inside job for an R&D access, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sad. It's like that card gets rezzed on the server, and as Criminal, you're just kind of like, okay, I guess I'm not going there anymore.
Great.
I mean, I guess it's not even as bad as Toll Booth, but it seems pretty bad.
Yeah.
Where's our Code Gate Mongoose?
It's coming. There's going to be other zoo animals. It's cool.
Zoo animal deck.
I just assume because, FFG has to make some type of zoo deck. We had the dog deck of 2014. How are they going to follow that up?
We're still waiting for more support for the gun deck.
Oh, yeah. Yo, don't talk about gun deck. That's super tech.
That's our World's 2016 tech, I forgot.
Yeah.
All right, so Jackson Howard getting used. And that was a run on Archive. So Quantum predicted this was I think I was a little confused by it. So he scores that because he's tagged. Quantum predictive, it says it's added to the corpse score area, so it's not actually scored. Is that correct?
I think so.
Yeah, I need to confirm that, but I'm not.
Yeah, I think it says if the runner is tagged, add
it. Okay.
PPM to the score area.
Yeah, so David did that correctly. That's where, again, like, that is an interaction that is pretty subtle. The difference between adding something to your score area and scoring it, but he did, like, figure that out. Okay,
so we got DLR on the table. He's going to start.
Yes, David knows he needs to go now.
That'd actually be interesting. I would almost want to lay down all my agendas in one in each server and see what I can get.
And guess what he just did?
Heyo.
So that I'm pretty sure there is an Astro beneath the toll booth, and I'm pretty certain that was another Astro in that middle or that first remote server.
Yeah.
But he's sitting at 3 credits now, so he could score one of them. And that was 4 mils from DLR.
Mm-hmm.
We are getting pretty low. Is he?
Well, he doesn't even look. He's like, whatever. DLR button is hit.
He looks now. Some players have that idea that you shouldn't look at the cards that are discarded because you're telegraphing something to the other player.
Yeah.
I don't subscribe to that theory myself, but and neither does David because he did look at his cards. Something that we should point out is I'm pretty sure Todd is holding on to that Fisk investment, right?
I haven't seen his hand in a little bit, so cannot confirm.
You said he had one earlier, right?
Oh, you're right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I can confirm that.
And unless if we might have missed it. He might have Fausted it previously or just discarded it, but I'm guessing he's still holding on to that one.
Yeah.
So Psycho to get
for 3. Yep. Okay.
Oh, if he had another Psycho and another 3 credits, he could have just scored out both of them right there.
Right.
Could you imagine Psycho, and then like use the Astro tokens on a breaking news install or 15-minute install to score it out?
Oh no! Did Todd miss another DLR? or not DLR, Leela trigger?
Yeah.
On that?
No, I.
Oh no.
He doesn't.
Oh no.
He's gonna miss.
Todd, my man.
And that is one card left in R&D.
Oh.
He's missed, I think, every Leela trigger. And yeah, he knows he forgets them, but like it doesn't matter. You could just play a blank ID. It's fine.
Yeah, it's got blue cards in it.
So
Cool.
two Jacksons used there. This last card, it is the Jackson.
Yeah.
So he was extremely lucky there, because if that card is not the Jackson, he just loses.
Yeah. Oh no, he can bounce Jackson into his hand if he remembers the Leela trigger. Oh no.
So that time they remembered,
rip.
And that should trigger another Leela right there from the 15 minutes. Okay, and shuffling up for the gang sign. And Quantum predicted to get scored out.
So that's 6. Yeah. Why? Oh, Todd.
So they remembered that Leela trigger, but I think they're still down one Leela trigger from the 15 minutes.
Right, yeah.
Oh, Fisk Investment gets played.
Yeah.
And yeah, David wanted to play the Jackson, but of course it's too late to do that. Even if he did, it wouldn't have made a difference, because you add 3 in, and then those get drawn for Fisk, and then mandatory you lose. It was a close game.
Whew.
Yeah, it could have... So they forgot gang sign a couple times at least. I think they forgot gang sign every time, probably. Right? But that could have actually helped David, because that Quantum could have got scored sooner, and then he might have had to play with the 15 minutes and Astro. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, after playing for 10 hours, I give these guys so much credit, because I was playing Game of Thrones at the same time as these guys after 10 hours, and I could barely play cards. So, much credit to both these guys.
You know, this was a so Games of Berkeley Store Championship. We always get a big turnout. There's about 50 players playing, and yeah, we did 5 rounds. So it was a lot of Netrunner, and this was probably around 9:30 at night would be my guess. After starting around 11, there's a lot of Netrunner.
Yeah.
All right, well that was a cool game. Leela deck, both decks were interesting. The Leela deck, I liked it a lot. Like it's not playing the standard game of Netrunner, but it's pressuring the corp in a lot of interesting ways, and still, you know, with that ice distribution there, like he didn't have good pressure on centrals until he went tag me, of course. But he didn't need it. He had other game plans.
Exactly. I mean, he was going to get indirect pressure through gang sign. Well, later in the game, but yeah.
Yeah, good stuff. All right. Well, thanks for commentating.
Yeah, totally, man.
And we'll do a few more videos from this cut soon. Put them up on the channel. I think there's some good games in the finals there. Noah versus Todd. So those will be up on the channel soon, and I think there's 1 or 2 games before that point that were pretty fun as well. So we'll have those up on the channel soon. Thanks everyone for watching.
Thanks, guys.